Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, the Spider-Man 2 New Game Plus debacle, alright, and what this means for Insomniac. So, obviously, people like this individual here, every day I wake up drenched in sweat knowing New Game Plus for Marvel Spider-Man 2 hasn't released yet. I'm struggling at the thought that they haven't released an update. Now, I have some concerns about this, but before we do that, I would like to, just address some of the people begging for New Game Plus. Spider-Man 2 New Game Plus freaking when? You know what I'm saying? But Insomniac decided to rub some salt into the wound very recently, alright? Saying golden hours, send us your Marvel Spider-Man 2 PS5 sunset theme photos, and we'll share some of our favourites. Now, you can't change the time of day yet in Spider-Man 2 like you could in Spider-Man 1 and Miles Morales. I believe you could do it in Miles Morales. I don't think there was a different time of day in Miles. That's stupid. There was. I'm an idiot. Ignore that. But... yeah, so basically people are saying, like, what are we talking about? What do you mean? It'd be nice if we could actually change the time of day. I would love to. However, I'm currently stuck on a day cycle. You know what I'm saying? So they kind of shot themselves in the foot a little bit, asking people to do stuff that isn't even available in the game. Or, you know, just hope for the best that you took a photo during the sunset theme. I don't know. It's a little stupid anyway, rubbing salt into the wound. As you can see, Miles Morales did have New Game Plus at launch, and that was considered a smaller game than Marvel Spider-Man 2. So, not great, alright? So my fear is that Insomniac Games may be, crunching a little bit. Maybe not crunching necessarily, but like, you know, they've got a bit of too much of a workload, should we say, all right? Because, you know, you've got, like, we saw this here. Brian Intihar, creative director, Sony told them Spider-Man 2 wasn't living up to the quality it should have and had to rework things in the back half of it. This is what Act 3 is garbo. Right, just right off the bat, that is 100% the reason they realized that they weren't going to make the day of October 20th, and decided to cut some things in the back half. And a lot of that was Sony, man. I mean, they wouldn't have had any exclusives in 2023, so I guess they had to force Spider-Man 2 out of the door. But, like, it really did impact the game, man, because it was missing some absolute features, and it concerns me that we're already at that stage with Insomniac where, like, they're clearly a money horse, so we've got to make sure that they release when we need them to release. You know, like, the fact they cut shit in favour of more MJ missions combined with Tony Todd saying they cut 90% of his lines paints a picture I don't think was best for the game. I do agree with that. I do think that, cutting things and making sure that MJ gets her time to shine in these missions was a bit strange, but like they're like so okay. In my opinion, she didn't need to be in the last one. I thought that was ridiculous. That was really stupid. There was just no need for it, really. Like Miles was just like, okay, you stand out here, I'll go in the scary cave. Right? Me personally, I would have swapped that right round. Do you know what I mean? I would have had MJ, like, at the very least, maybe snipe with a, like, sonic gun, right? From maybe away from people so that they're not meant, you know, too many symbiotes get in the cave while Miles is doing his thing. Because it's just a bit weird, wouldn't it? But, yeah, I don't like the fact that Tony Todd got 90% of his lines cut, but then again, you know, again, like, heavy workload, right? So, you know, and I don't want to talk about the leaks too much from Insomniac, but it's clear that they've got a lot in their future as well. Obviously, you know, you've got this big guy here, you got Wolverine as well. So, like, is that going to be a problem? Are we going to be dealing with an Insomniac now that needs to, like, keep trimming the fat of their games to make sure that they can reach a date rather than actually be like, okay, we have a finished product? Because Marvel Spider-Man 2 has it has bugs. It does, straight up, and it has a lot of missing features. Spider-Man 2 is still brilliant, by the way, but I feel like it's very unfair to push that out when it wasn't really finished. Not really, right? And then New Game Plus still taking its time, and them having to have delayed that update with tendrils and stuff like that. It's just not a very good look, to be fair, you know. But this isn't the first time they've done something like this, in fairness. And But, like, in this case, it works, right? So, back in Marvel Spider-Man 1, they cut down the Doc Ock boss because it's supposed to take place all over New York, but instead it happened on top of Oscorp Tower. Bosses were kind of bad in the first Spider-Man game anyway, but, I mean, like, so for example, that's different. Cutting down one boss fight is different than what feels like they cut down an entire story act, right? And then missing features on top of that. You know, that's kind of a different can of worms, you know? But obviously people like working at Insomniac and things like that, so obviously the culture must not be too bad, but it's just something that I'm a little bit worried about like in the future, is just that this kind of becomes like a continuous thing where Insomniac have to keep kind of lessering their games in order to get to a release date. I think that's just like, I don't know, I'm just bit concerned, bit sort of something I was a bit worried about. Thought I'd make a video on it. Let me know what you guys think, I guess.